In terms of the significance of the battalion, there's obviously going to be a lot made of it because of sort of the All-Ireland aspect of it. Do you feel like you're representing your league in any way, or is it very much just about focusing on Linfield and what you do and what you don't do?
We're representing Linfield Football Club. It's an opportunity for both clubs. When the draw was made, the opportunity to progress. I know with some of our journalists also talk about the progression and the money, what you're guaranteed and what potentially you could get. So to European tie, first and foremost, we don't see it as an all-Ireland game. And we don't want to get into that because, again, whoever we would have drawn in the first round, be it in their Escaladas, who was possible, one or two other possibles, it's European time, we'll gauge it on that. And as I say, other people will talk about, because of course it's looking you straight in the face. It's obvious it's North v South, but it's not something that we've talked about in the dressing room. It's not something that I've talked about to the players to try and G them up. They shouldn't be G'd up. It's the first round of the Champions League. It's an opportunity for us as a club to come down to the champions of Ireland, deserved champions, by the way. We'll get promoted in 2021, winning the first league in 18 years. So it's been a hell of a roller coaster for Shelbourne. They're now in the same position as us. First round of the Champions League, potential to accumulate a few pounds, and most importantly, progress in the next round.
I think you might have said last week that you felt it was the toughest tie you could have got. Can you just elaborate on that? Like, why do you feel
I think
that?
with the possibilities. Again, I've seen a lot of Shelbourne last year. I watched the league, and I know Jamie, with quite a few of the other lads who would watch the league quite frequently, when certainly it's on TV or maybe take it in. And I know myself and all the chairmans here, Jamie and some of the players make the effort to come down to the FAI Cup final most years. I can't remember the last one I missed. We're always down, sort of watching. I like the league, I like the way it's played, I like the way it's advertised. You go to any ground, most grounds, there's a brilliant atmosphere, there's a brilliant crowd. Something again that everybody's trying to encourage in our league, to get people out, get the crowds coming to watch the games, and hopefully in time we can do that.
When did you notice the development in the League of Ireland? What was there a game that struck you, like a cup final that you said there, like others?
I think just the quality of the players you see, and again, like the League of Ireland over quite a number of years have, attracted good players to the league, and the majority of the younger players who maybe leave at 16, 17, they always come back to maybe their home-based clubs, where a lot of our kids in Northern Ireland, the traditional route is you try and stay in England, and if not, they come back and they maybe have a year at Linfield, Glentoran, or Cliftonville, or Corrigan, and then all of a sudden maybe they don't find their feet, and then they maybe slide into the Championship and further beyond. So the League of Ireland would be good at introducing players who maybe don't make it in England, and you look at the quality of the players that Shelbourne haven't shown, Shamrock Rovers haven't shown, players who somebody like Noonan will eventually go with. There's other players who have been tried and tested maybe in England or Scotland and come back and thrived in the league.
Do you think that we all read it too much into Shamrock Rovers v Larne last year, or what did you read into?
I didn't read into how good Shamrock Rovers were. I've seen them numerous times last year. They had a squad last year. Obviously with the European run and the success that they had in that. So it shows you how good Shelbourne are. They certainly were last year and had to be last year. Everybody's talking about, Shamrock Rovers, this is one of the greatest sides, best teams that they've ever seen in this country, down here. And Shelbourne won the league last year, so it shows you the level of talent, the quality, the success that the manager had, and who sits left. Joey looks as if it's been probably a seamless transition. He's been in the dressing room. He's got the nod of approval from above. He's got the nod of approval, it looks like, by the players who he's worked basically as second in command. It looks as if he stepped up. He's enjoying the role. He's got huge experience as a player in England. He's worked with good managers in England. He's represented Ireland at international level. So it's not as if they brought somebody in who doesn't understand Shelbourne or understand the league. They brought somebody in with great experience and given the opportunity to go and manage.
Do you think there's any difference in playing style on the pitch between the two leagues?
I think the majority of teams in both leagues want to get the ball down and play. Everybody in any league wants to get the ball down and play. I think one thing that the League of Ireland has probably to their benefit is there's better pitches down here. You know, some of the away grounds that we go to, maybe up in our own country, that you know the pitch quality maybe isn't there. That's no disrespect. Again, we've been waiting. Some of the clubs they've been waiting for investment for the last number of years, so the sooner they get that, the better. But it looks as if the League of Ireland, any pitch you go was down in Galway last week. Again, you know, the conditions weren't great in terms of weather, but the pitch was very good. You look out there, the pitch is very good. Tala's very good. You know, Derry are obviously things. So the quality and playing surface maybe allows the teams in the League of Ireland to go and play probably a more attractive way.
Pat Fenlon was talking over the weekend about demands next month.
I seen Pat's quotes. Yeah. I was nearly going to text him and say, Pat, have you lost the plot?
Yeah. Well, he obviously talked about how big, in his opinion, Linfield are, but also the demands and the expectations. He's been the manager for 10 years. Yeah. So can you just explain just how difficult it is? Like,
huge demands, huge sacrifices that you have to make as a manager. And Pat would know, again, I'm not going to get into a debate on who's the biggest club and who's the best supported club, etc. Whatever else. That's people's opinions. You know, I don't think there's any facts or whatever else to go and back that up. Obviously, Linfield traditionally in our 140th year been successful, winning trophies. But Pat knows the demands. Again, I read his article. He come to Belfast at a real tough time. It was probably a shock to a few. But Pat is so well thought of in our football club, both in terms of his playing tenure there, certainly my working relationship. He was our general manager, and so it was afternoons where I used to sit down and pick Pat's brains and lots of things. He's always open, honest. He's always had an opinion. He's managed a really good level. I think he's managed maybe all the Dublin clubs. Managed obviously in Scotland with Hibs. So, you know, why wouldn't I and why shouldn't I sit down with Pat and go through? So Pat's opinion is Linfield are the biggest, the best supported. It's certainly, I could back up the quote that he says, it's probably the most demanding job it is. But along with the sacrifices that you make, the excitement, the joy, I love this football club. I put so much into the job, I care so much deeply about not only the image of the football club, the players, the relationship that we have between myself and the players and the supporters. And I think over the last number of years we've certainly built on that.
Do you want this game, David, with an underdog mentality at all? Or is your sort of...
Yeah, we're big underdogs.
Out of season?
Listen, again, I said at the start when we were asked the question, we've done our utmost to get to where we feel was at least the maximum where we could get to. So the players have worked hard. I don't want to go into the players in the dressing room and sort of say, here, by the way, we're huge underdogs here, because that would be the wrong way for me to approach the game in terms of looking at it realistically. You know, Shells, I would imagine, would start forwards, but that doesn't mean that we can't go out tomorrow night, perform well. If we perform well, with and without the ball, certainly tomorrow night, over the 2 legs, you know, who knows, come next Wednesday night, we might have an opportunity to progress in the next round.
And to win this tie opens up opportunities as well. You've knocked on the door before of the...
How much money are they talking, Graham? You know, and I know you're going to tell me.
I know, but that must be...
The chairman's there.
How important is that to the club and even to yourself?
I was asked the question again the other day about, you know, financially for the football club, we are self-sustainable. We don't have investment coming in from outside apart from, you know, sponsorship, etc. We work a lot on shirt sales, club shop sales, descending to England or Scotland of some of our youth products, which again has been you know, very productive over the last number of years. And then of course the European money that we get, you know, for getting into the Champions League. And so it's important any round that you get through in Europe financially. We are looking maybe to strengthen the squad going forward, so we'll not be able to strengthen it if we potentially don't sort of get through. I'm not saying the Champions League, but potentially rounds in Europe, and we're understanding that. We've done a lot of our business probably earlier than we have done in January this year. We invested in 3 players coming in. So if we are successful getting through in Europe, then sit down with the chairman and the board and sort of see where we can tweak 1 or 2 things and maybe add 1 or 2.
Do you feel in the constant comparisons between the 2 leagues, our league gets the unfair criticism along the way?
In terms
A
of
bit of overreaction in terms of, say, after that particular game, it was,
no matter if it was a one-off or two-legged game last year, Shelbourne Rovers were just too good. They proved that on the night. I think they were 3-0 up after half an hour. Lauren did get the goal and sort of settle the scoreline down a bit. But looking at the game last year, you've seen the difference in terms of, as I said to you, the quality that some of the players, Shells, not only had in the starting 11, but they had coming off the bench. So there was always going to be a little bit of gulf in class. So we want to come down here, represent Linfield Football Club in the best way that we can, and look forward to doing it.
just a small number of fans, isn't it? That's a shame. It's a game like this.
I think it is. I think maybe again, even Shelbourne would have potentially enjoyed maybe 500, 600, 700 Linfield supporters coming down. We have 240, 250, whatever it is, coming down. But again, I would urge them to get behind the players. Tomorrow night we're going to need it. It's going to be, say, I've been down at Tolka, and the atmosphere has been rocking. So I will urge the players, someone like Jamie's been here, seen it, done it, the experience, and some of the other players in and around, to embrace the challenge, embrace the game, embrace the atmosphere. I spoke to the players again this morning as a old player, ex-player. This would be the type of game that would prick my ears up and basically get excited by. It's a brilliant game. We're playing against a very, very good team with good individual talent. Probably more importantly, a collective depth in what they do as a team. So we should embrace that.
Jamie, from your point of view, you have better Linfield more in Europe than another player. Is it the same sentiment? Excited, like having achieved everything, but you get excited, you get up for games like this?
I think Tom was saying 39 now, so I get excited about every game because you don't know when it's going to finish. You don't know when it's going to finish, and I think it's very vitally important that you come into your work every day and you enjoy and you embrace everything that comes with it. Certainly tomorrow night will be the same. But no matter what team you're playing, it's the early rounds of the Champions League and the opportunity to possibly progress. And yes, you can go on about finances and all that there, but us as players, it's the prestige of getting through a round, and the finance for the club, obviously it's fantastic, but first and foremost for us to get through a round and to give ourselves an opportunity then to push on and hopefully reach a group stage eventually, then that's got to be the main goal for us as a team and individuals.
And when you do hang up the Bruce and you've all the medals and all the league titles and the cups, will it probably be those nights like Carabag, for example, and the other big European nights that'll stay in memory?
Look, we've obviously been in now for around 4 weeks, and pre-season's not supposed to be easy. You're turning up most days and you're slugging your guts out and obviously working hard for the first focus and the first challenge is obviously Europe. So again, that's what we've all been working hard for, and that's what this has been the goal now. The excitement for the first competitive game.
David, you were a couple of minutes away from achieving it. Lauren did it last year. Is that the big drive to get to that level in European competition?
I think anybody that enters the first round of any competition, certainly the Champions League or Europa Conference, is the main goal is can you get through the group stages, you enter the first round of the league, Irish Cup, can you go and win the Irish Cup, can you go and win the league? So we're entering the first round. We've seen what Lauren did last year. It's been a credit to them, the football club, the transition that they've made over the last number of years. So it's not as if you want to sort of, we're in a hurry. Of course you want to emulate that, but you want to do it in your own way. And we have an opportunity again this year. Jamie scored the winner 3 years ago when we beat TNS, which was huge for the football club because again it puts you into the second round of the Champions League, and then further down the pathway, if you don't win another game either in the Champions League, Europa League, then you find yourself at least guaranteed a playoff in the Europa Conference. So that's our aim for tomorrow night.
Jamie, like a lot's been made of the difference in fitness because of the seasons, as has been mentioned. Are you expecting Shells to come out with a really high tempo tomorrow because of that? And like, you have to use your experience to manage the game, because it seems like it's a big talking point around this game, how they might approach it.
It can be, but I don't necessarily think that we need to set out and be like that, because if we do, then it could be a long night for us. Yes, we'll have to be sensible, and we know that. But I don't think that we can sort of think too much about, oh, we've only played 2 games and whatever else. It wouldn't be the right mindset to be going into the game with that. I think then possibly you'd already be defeated then, really. And that's not saying that we're in fantastic shape. We haven't played 12 games or whatever it is, but as the manager said, look, we've been in 4 weeks and we've worked incredibly hard, and we've got to the best place that we can be, and hopefully that'll be enough for us to challenge and really give it a good go.
Do you feel where our league is, Jamie, that we can, other clubs can follow but learn to replicate that in the years ahead?
I suppose that's the challenge, for everybody. Look, as it's, and people can go on about finances, but for me, me personally as a player, to be able to play in any European competition would be the pinnacle, really. So again, you reach this stage every year of playing in Europe, and that's what the excitement would be, to be able to achieve that. And again, what Lauren did obviously was fantastic. Would we all love to do that? Yes. Is it going to be easy? Definitely not. But that doesn't mean you can't have those dreams and those aspirations to want to achieve that.
They were just Christian was obviously upset to be suspended for tomorrow's game. How big a blow would that be for you guys?
Again, Chris would have been a big asset to us tomorrow night in the team. It's no disrespect to the other players who are playing at the minute, but Chris has been down to Tolka many times. He's been hugely successful in his time, certainly at the Dock. So he adds great experience, he adds know-how, he adds knowledge. So yeah, again, as I said, without sounding or seeming disrespectful to the other players who come and play, of course, with a player of that experience and sort of magnitude, would have, not saying he would have started, they would have added something to the score tomorrow night.
Just with the fact that there's no away goals in these ties now, maybe when you started, people might be talking about get a result and bring it back. And is it a different mentality with these ties now, these 2-legged ties, or is there still a sense of bring it back home, competitive?
I still think there's a sense of we want to be certainly well in the tie, whatever that means, whatever that even sounds like for next Wednesday. We want to be playing Shelbourne next Wednesday with a real opportunity. Either that's a draw, either you lose by a goal, either you win by a goal. It's still going to be open. No matter what happens tomorrow night, in terms of unless the scorelines gets completely out of hand or flattering to either side, I would imagine the tie's going to be open. We'll come to Belfast next week, and a goal either way or a draw. I would imagine you speak to Joey after the game tomorrow night. He'll be saying all the right things, as I will be. Tie's wide open, big opportunity. We've got to go to Belfast, tough, etc. and whatever else. So both sets of clubs are probably going to be saying the same thing, no matter what happens tomorrow night.
Jamie, just to echo what Daryl was saying about that the fans can really help you in both legs. I see the tickets are selling really well for the second leg, and they'll make themselves loud here tomorrow night as well. So I'm driving on.
I remember coming down here maybe 19 years ago, and obviously you were able to bring a massive amount and a large amount in. I remember back then the atmosphere, it was fantastic to play in, and it was a privilege then. Pat was actually the manager here as well, so it's a long time ago. And yeah, look, But look, that's the rules, that's the way it is, and look, as they always do, our supporters will come down, and no matter how many there is, they'll create a great atmosphere, and they'll back the team and support the team. And look, hopefully we'll give them something to shout about and make it worth their while. And again, Shelbourne, I'm sure will be doing the same whenever they come to Windsor Park next week. And again, two clubs that are massively supported and have a massive fan base and who are very much, support their team in a big way. So again, us as players, it's a great spectacle and a great tie to be involved in.
Do you think there would ever be a possibility in the future of resurrecting a competition involving North and South?
I'm not the man to ask that, Graham.
I think we should bring John Lawler or somebody else to ask him that.
Have to change the seasons for that.